Once upon a time, in the sprawling, sun-drenched kingdom of Persia, there lived a king named Ahasuerus who really knew how to throw a party. We're talking a 180-day-long festival of feasts, music, and questionable dance moves. At the grand finale, the king, feeling extra proud, called for his queen, Vashti, to come and show off her beauty. But Vashti, who was busy with her own party, sent back a message that basically said, "Nah, I'm good." The king's jaw dropped, his advisors gasped, and in a fit of royal pique, Vashti was promptly fired from her job as queen. This royal drama kicked off the biggest reality show in Persian history, Persia's Next Top Queen, with scouts sent to every corner of the kingdom to find a replacement. Enter our hero, a kind and beautiful young woman named Esther, who lived with her cousin, the slightly quirky but very wise Mordecai. When the king's scouts came to town, Mordecai gave Esther a crash course in royal etiquette, which mostly involved not tripping over her own feet and smiling winningly. With a pat on the back and some goofy encouragement, Esther was sent to the palace. Amidst a flurry of hopefuls, Esther's genuine charm and kindness shone brighter than the king's shiniest goblet. King Ahasuerus was instantly smitten. In a whirlwind of confetti and royal proclamations, he placed the crown on her head. Esther was the new queen, but she kept her Jewish heritage a secret, just as Mordecai had advised. Now, every good story needs a villain, and ours is Haman, the king's top advisor. A man with a mustache as big as his ego. Haman strutted around the palace demanding that everyone bow to him. But Mordecai, standing tall at the palace gate, refused. To him, bowing was for God alone. This simple act of defiance sent Haman into a full-blown hissy fit. He stomped his feet. His face turned a comical shade of purple, and he let out an over-the-top villainous laugh that echoed through the halls. He didn't just want to punish Mordecai. In his rage, he convinced the king to sign an edict to destroy all the Jews in the kingdom. Haman, feeling very pleased with himself, even built a giant gallows specifically for Mordecai. When Mordecai heard the terrible news, he knew only one person could save their people, Queen Esther. After a bit of nervous comedic deliberation pacing her room, talking to her reflection, and maybe hyperventilating into a silk pillow, Esther found her courage. She knew approaching the king without being summoned could be a death sentence. But she put on her bravest face and most fabulous gown. Instead of just blurting out her request, she cleverly invited the king and Haman to a special feast. Then, just to build the suspense, she invited them to a second feast the very next day. Haman was puffed up with pride, thinking he was the guest of honor. Completely unaware he was walking into the most brilliant trap in Persian history. At the second feast, with the king in a great mood, Esther finally made her move. She revealed her identity as a Jew and exposed Haman's wicked plot to annihilate her and her people. The king was furious. In a perfectly timed plot twist, it was revealed that Haman had built a massive gallows to hang Mordecai, the very man who had once saved the king's life. Hang him on it. The king roared. Haman's grand plan backfired in the most hilarious and satisfying way possible. The evil decree was reversed, the Jews were saved, and Mordecai was promoted to the king's right-hand man. The story concludes not with fear, but with a triumphant, joyful celebration, a festival of feasting, giving, and remembering the brave queen who saved her people